Hello and welcome back. Welcome to my summer with Emily Henry. This summer we're going to be diving into everything Emily Henry has ever written, except not that because I'm not going to read her young adult. All of her adult romances I'm going to be reading. I'm really excited because I've never read Emily Henry before, and she's a local author for me. She lives in the Cincinnati area, and I feel bad that I haven't been supporting her this entire time. But that ends now because each month of the summer, I'm going to read 2 of her books. These are the 2 we're starting with, and to be frank, I've already read them because it is July 3rd. So these 2 are done. I have already read Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation, and then let's see if I can think of these off the top of my head.
This upcoming episode, I'm going to be reading, for the next episode, I guess, I'll be reading Happy Place and Funny Story, question mark, and then I will be reading The Great BBL, and, fuck, whichever one came out before that, what came out last year? Come on, you can think through it, what came out last year? I can't even think of what color it would be.
I forget what it is, but we're going to be reading all 6 of her books throughout June, July, and August. The first ones that I started up with were Beach Read and People We Meet on Vacation, which are her first 2 releases. Beach Read is about Gus and January, and they are enemies, and they move in next to each other, and then they make a bet. They're both writers, that Gus, who is a larger than life literary fiction author, will write a romance novel, which is what January writes. So they flip flop genres, and whoever sells their book first at the end of the whatever the hell, whenever they finish it, whoever sells it first wins. And obviously, shenanigans ensue, and you'll have to watch the video further to know how I've thought about it. And then People We Meet on Vacation is about Alex and Poppy. They are best friends for 12 years, and then something dire happens 2 years ago that splits them up and they don't really talk. And then Poppy, in a last ditch effort to fix it, invites Alex on another vacation. And again, shenanigans ensue. And you will have to watch till the end of the video to see how I feel about that one. I'm really excited. Like I said, I've never read Emily Henry. And let's just get on to Beach Read because I read it over a month ago and I'm sure you're really excited to hear what I have to say about it. Okay, so as you probably saw in the first couple of clips, I started this while I was at my aunt's lake house in Tennessee. And I really thought I would only get like maybe 50 pages in because I was with my family. We were boating, we were on the water, which will become apparent whenever I show you the state of my book. But long story short, I did not think that I would read a lot of it, and I ended up reading 200 pages. Oh yeah, I'm on page 214 because I'm eating this up. I'm eating it up. And I did bring it on the boat and I did drop it in a puddle of water. So it's in a really bad state and I just bought it, but that's okay. I think it really like adds to the theme of it all, you know? And it's all dried out now, so it's fine and it's only going to be in my library, so it's fine. What was I saying before the air kicked on? And I'm obsessed with it. And I had to stop reading it and I'm making myself stop reading it because I will finish this tonight, but I need to finish this first. And I am on a page, I'm on page 440 of 527, and it's overdue at the library. So I'm probably making some 19-year-old girl very angry, and I'm sorry for that. Or some 26-year-old girl. I'm reading it too, damn. This vlog isn't about this book. Who cares? I'm trying to get through that. That's what I'm trying to say. That is what I'm trying to get through before I go back and devour this because I will eat it up. I always think I don't like romance, and then every single time I read a romance, I'm like, that was the best shit I've ever read. It just makes me so happy. It doesn't make me like feel like things, and I'm like, oh my god, that made me feel this and that and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just reading, I'm like, hell yeah, hell yeah. So I'm excited for my summer with Emily Henry. I'm so excited because I'm eating this up, and a lot of you people are probably thinking, well, my great BBL, as I saw the teens are calling it, R is not like as romantic. That's fine too, because my favorite genre is literary fiction. I just happen to love romance when I do read it, you know? Maybe on this journey I'll find a romance book that I'm like, nah. And then I'll start getting like opinions about romance. But right now, I still love it. Starting this at the lake was perfect. Why is it called beach read if it takes place at the lake? Who knows? I guess lakes have beaches, but like, come on, that should have been in Florida. Come on, like North Carolina, South Carolina should have been down there. I don't know what the hell we're doing up here in Michigan. I just want to sit down and read this, but I'm abstaining. I'll keep you updated. I'm more than halfway through, so the next update will probably be finished. Yee, I can't wait. Okay, this morning I finished Beach Read by Emily Henry. My first Emily Henry in the books. This was so fucking cute. I gave it 5 stars. I'm easily impressed when it comes to romance. Yeah, for the most part. Every single time I read romance, I don't expect to like it, and then I'm like, this is the funnest thing I've ever read in my life. And that was kind of how I felt reading this. And this morning I finished the last 2 or 3 chapters. What a whirlwind. I cried a lot. I loved how tender the romance was. It wasn't like there was smut, but it wasn't too smutty, which I really appreciated because you saw like their emotional intimacy. It didn't feel surface level as much as like some other romances do. I love a romance that includes subplots and includes other things happening to the characters other than the romance. I loved January. There's a bug somewhere around here. January, a woman after my own heart. I love that she made assumptions about Gus and then followed through with those assumptions instead of talking about it because that's some shit that I do. I do that. Like, I understand it might be like frustrating to other people, miscommunication trip or whatever, but I related to it so much that I was like, you know what, girl, I know exactly where you're coming from. I know exactly what you're doing here. I loved Gus. There were some parts at the end where I was like, a man would literally never say that. Like, this is where it's like being revealed that this is written by a woman, but it was still so lovely that I just loved it anyway. I don't know. So 5 stars. I like 5 stars truly because I love January so much. Like I just love her vibe. And she made the book better and her mind made the book better. This was so cute. And I loved Maggie and Pete, obviously. I kind of wish that like we are going to get into spoilers right now a little bit. I kind of wish that January and Naomi like had a confrontation. I don't know if it would have added to the plot. I just personally would have liked the drama. And I kind of wanted to see like what her personality was about. Like I was a little curious. Like he was so in love with her. What's she like? I want to know. Maybe Emily Henry. She may have already done this, and I'm just fucking stupid. But you know how people will like, oh, here's a romance, and now like the protagonist's brother gets his romance. I want that with a Naomi. I want to see that. I would like to see it, but this was so fucking good. Next, I'm reading People We Meet on Vacation. Have no idea what it's about. Is it up here? Poppy and Alex. Love the girl names. Okay, Poppy and Alex. Alex and Poppy, they have nothing in common. She's a wild child. He wears khakis. Email alert. She has insatiable wanderlust. He prefers to stay at home with a book. And somehow, ever since a fateful car share home from college many years ago, they are the very best of friends. For most of the year, they live far apart. She's in New York and he's in their small hometown, but every summer for a decade, they have taken one glorious week of vacation together until 2 years ago when they ruined everything. They haven't spoken since. Poppy has everything she should want, but she's stuck in a rut. When someone asks when she was last truly happy, she knows without a doubt that it was on that ill-fated final trip with Alex. And so she decides to convince her best friend to take one more vacation together, lay everything on the table, and make it right. Miraculously. Not a word I say easily. He agrees. Now she has a week to fix everything, if only she can get around the one big truth that has always stood quietly in the middle of their seemingly perfect relationship. what could possibly go wrong? Okay, I have a feeling in this book of the man, Alex is going to be a woman after my own heart. People we meet on vacation. I'm traveling this weekend, so I will indeed be on vacation in a way. But I just loved Beach Read. Like, will I ever love another romance as much as I just loved Beach Read? It was so cute. I like don't I loved Beach Read, and I wouldn't be surprised if it was my favorite book ever, romance book, but like it would never be one of my favorite books ever. On to People We Meet on Vacation. I'm halfway through People We Meet on Vacation, and I'm not liking this one as much as Beach Read. I think I just don't care about their previous summers together. Like, I don't care. I want them to get to like the feelings when they like feel romantic towards each other. And so like I get that it's showing me their relationship, but I don't care about it at that point. I'm halfway through and I only read it like I only get excited for like the this summer chapters. And I also felt like in Beach Read, I feel like I just don't know like as much as I did about January and in Gus. But I don't know why, because I also do feel like Emily Henry is writing them well and is writing like their personalities well. But like, who is Sarah? Like, who is she? Like, I know who she is as a character, but I know like her archetype. No, that's not even the word I'm looking for. Like, she's just like a shadow in the corner, you know? She's not much else. I feel like we even knew more about Julian, the guy whose name started with a J that was like the artist boyfriend. I feel like I know more about him, and he was only in like a chapter or two. Actually, literally just a chapter. I know more about who he is as a person than Sarah, who has been in multiple chapters and apparently is like this big, like important figure in Alex's life. And I do feel like she's gonna pop up at the wedding. Honestly, whenever he was like weird at the airport, I was like, oh, she's definitely like going to be there. Like Sarah is his first plus one, you know? But then she wasn't. And now I'm kind of like, okay, if Sarah was there, it's weird that she agreed to let Alex and Poppy stay in the same hotel room as each other. And also, she's like talking about like, I'm just like seeing holes. She's talking about all these places that they stayed in, like this place in like a studio apartment off of Bourbon Street. But then when they first got to this Airbnb that they're in right now, it was like, oh my God, there's only one room. What the fuck is in a studio apartment? Like, I'm just a little lost. That being said, when they do have moments, I'd be eating those moments up, but I just don't feel like I'm enjoying the book so consistently as I was with Beach Read. So yeah, maybe Friends for Lovers isn't for me and I really thought it was. Maybe I'm an enemies to lovers girl, but I don't really like it in romance. Or not in romance, in fantasy. Just like doesn't click for me in fantasy. I mean, I think it's fine. Like I always read it, I'm like, okay, whatever, like they were enemies for a chapter and now they're having sex in the courtyard outside. Yeah, I'm on chapter 18. I read until 11:30 last night. It's a school night. I worked this morning, okay? I had a 9 a.m. meeting this morning. I never have 9 a.m. meetings. I was up. I was like, ugh. I just loved Beach Read. I want to read it again. I will continue on with People We Meet on Vacation, but I'm not liking it as much. And I really loved Beach Read. I was going to give it 4 stars, but now after this conversation that we've had together, I feel like it's not going to be more than 3.5, maybe. I could get really attached to some of the chapters and it just like blows my mind. If one good thing happens, I can forget the rest of the book. It's a terrible, terrible habit I have. We'll see how this goes. I'm excited. I'll probably finish it within the next day or two. I have finished People We Meet on Vacation. This got a solid 4 stars. I was right that some things that happened in the end really bumped it up and made me feel go a little soft on this book. In the beginning, I was saying I didn't like them going back to their different vacations, and a part of me still agrees with that. Like the beginning vacations, like where were they? Victoria. I mean, like I guess that one was funny because of Buck, which is but really like what did it do other than set up a running joke throughout the entire book? Like, I don't know. And you just read an entire chapter about it, and I was just like, okay, whatever. The chapters that I really did appreciate of previous trips were the ones where they were supposed to go to Norway and they didn't because she was sick. That was a really good chapter. And then the Tuscany one, that was also another good one. Vale, kind of. The other ones, I didn't really care for. By the end of this book, I did really love them, I guess, still not as much as Gus in January. Like, I really loved them, and I loved them throughout the entire book. This one, I don't know. Something about the ending was like, okay. Also, the dedication in the beginning of this is I wrote the last one mostly for me. This one's for you. Miss Emily Henry, with the way that Cincinnati leaches into this book, I heavily disagree with you. This was for you and for me as a Cincinnati reader, but not for the outsiders that people are. Like Kings Island mentioned, the beach water park mentioned, which is a deep fucking cut because I don't even know if it's open anymore. CVG mentioned. I felt the love. I felt her home. I don't know if she's originally from here, but I felt her home like leaching into the pages of this book, which I really appreciated because it's also my home and she's underrated. Another thing about Emily Henry and about this book specifically that I think did better than Beach Read is this book is really fucking funny. Like it would be so hard to put your humor into writing and have that go across really well, and make people read it and laugh, and this book did it. This book was very funny, and I commend Emily Henry for doing that because that would be a hard thing to do. There were several moments in this book where I like was laughing out loud. I was LOLing because Poppy is a very funny woman. She's a very funny character. She has a nice quippy personality. She is Lorelai Gilmore. She'll like sneak in those little jokes quickly in everyday conversation that are really funny, similarly to Lorelai Gilmore. And that makes me like really excited to continue reading Emily Henry and just like feel grateful that we're on the same planet at the same time because these books are fucking funny and it's so hard to find a book that's actually funny. So I think that wraps up the first episode of my summer with Emily Henry. I leave for vacation on Saturday. It's currently Thursday, July 3rd. I leave on the 5th. And I'm going to Seattle for a week and I'm going to go to like a lake in the mountains and all of that fun stuff. So I don't have the next book and it's too late for me to go to an independent bookstore. And obviously tomorrow, July 4th, they're closed. And so I think I'm going to go to Target and pick it up before I leave because I really didn't think that I didn't think that I would finish this in time, but I sat here and I did my laundry before I leave and I did my eyebrows and I have a face again and read in between and I finished the book. So I think I'm going to start it on that trip. I don't know which one it is. I think it's either Happy Place or Funny Story. That's next. I think it's Happy Place, which I've heard is a little sadder. So that doesn't sound very fun, but whatever. Out of these two, Beach Read was my favorite. Okay, this is the current standing. Beach Read first, People We Meet on Vacation second. I still really liked People We Meet on Vacation, and we'll see as the summer goes on how the others stack up. Those are some nice spines. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any thoughts, please feel free to leave a comment below. Subscribe if you want. I don't know. I'm excited to continue my summer with Emily, my Miss Cincinnati Queen, and I will talk to you guys again in the next video. Bye!